And it's Will Ministries International presents Midweek Message. Hi, family. Well, family, um, in honor of Women's History Month, I want to talk to the young women. Young women, I formally apologize to you. The women's movement has failed you. The women's movement is stuck back in a fight from the 1970s and the 1990s. We're in the 2000s, right? And they're fighting last century's fight. We have a new fight now. And I don't know what that is, but it's time for you young women to figure it out. And you older ladies, jump back. You're not even going to be here. And you're like, all right. So the women's movement has failed you because a movement should be going forward, moving women forward. I want to tell you that women are the majority in this country right now. Women are 2/3 of this country's spending power. Do you understand what a force we are? Do you understand the money that we manage? That's the money we spend. Imagine the money we manage. Okay, so check this out. We are CEOs and we are business owners. And that means that if women aren't getting a fair wage out in the world, we can, well, out in society, we can hire women. We can hire women and give them a decent wage. We don't have to depend on anybody else. We can hire women. It's like we can change things. If we don't like the way things are going, we can buy some politicians. That's what everybody else does. We can change things. Instead of buying Prada and Gucci, working ourselves to the bone so that we can consume, we could take that money and change things. All right, this is how the women's movement has done you dirty. Um, my example of Title IX, instead of standing up for women, for young women and girls in high school and college sports, even Olympic sports, instead of standing up for you guys, the women's movement was cheering non-biological women, forcing them into our spaces. If you only knew the struggle that women went through to get here where we are, that we have our own spaces, that we have sports. Title IX was the government putting money behind girls' sports. It wasn't always that way. And you need to understand that women, there weren't always girls' sports. Um, And so to take that precious thing that we fought for and just give it away to non-biological women, no, they have to fight for theirs. Like we had to fight for ours, they have to fight for theirs because it means nothing to you if it's just handed to you that way. Um, so they let you down because they prioritized non-biological women and girls over you. That's how is that moving women forward? It's not. It's setting us back to a time where we didn't have sports. And if we wanted to compete in sports, we had to try to compete with men and boys. So in that way, the women's movement took us back to the 70s. Um, Girls lost out on scholarships. Girls lost out on titles and records. There's records set now by non-biological girls that surpass anything a girl has been able to do so far. And it's not right and it's not fair. Um, and so the women's movement let y'all down. And the next thing is this constant harping on smortion. There are so many different types of birth control out there. Ladies, we shouldn't even be talking about it. But here's another situation that the women's movement isn't addressing, and that is population collapse. Around the world, East Asian and European civilization is collapsing, not declining, it is collapsing. And it's happening here in America too. The descendants of our population collapse. Instead of the women's movement getting together and saying, hey, 100 years from now, these people may no longer exist. We have to do something. They're like, no, you have to be able to get rid of your baby. No, ladies, your populations, all right, the Black population is still above replacement level. That means we're fine, but everybody else is in collapse. And that means below replacement level. The biggest population for my white sisters, your biggest population is the baby boomers. That's my age. I'll be 61 this year. I'm the baby of the baby boomers. And so you understand how your largest population is dying off. I got about 20 good years, right? So you know what I'm saying? So baby boomers are my age and up. If you guys aren't procreating, your peoples are going to go the way of the Neanderthal and the Denisovan. And I know that sounds like hyperbolic, but you really have to do the research because it's true. And I want my country full of different types of people. I want diversity all over my country. I don't want to see a people group die out. Like, that's so sad. And instead of the women's movement saying, okay, in order for us to move forward, we need more babies, they're finding ways to kill more babies. Like, that's not progress. You're not moving forward if if you're not going to be here in 50 to 100 years. So do your research, young women. And I challenge you to think about what are the priorities for the new women's movement. Because we have to have a new women's movement because this one isn't working. It's not addressing anything that has to do with women. Nothing. So think about what your priorities are moving forward and what we as women can do together. We can change the world. We can change the world. Globally, the woman's spending power is $31 trillion. What can we do around the world with $31 trillion? $31 trillion. Women are worth a lot out here. So think about it, ladies, young ladies. What's the new women's movement going to look like? Think about progress and moving forward. And join us again next time when Innis Will Ministries International presents Midweek Message. Until then, bye.